Okay, well, it just restarts it. Having already said all this, I'm just going to skip over to the requisite part.
You two!
Okay, you know what? I'm actually going to just let it ride and hopefully it doesn't sort out again.
So, you were able to divine my intent. What now, warrior of light? Ah, but that name is no longer fitting. You have become decidedly dull, and quite incapable of barring my entry.
What do you mean?
You truly do not know? Then I suppose it is only right that I enlighten you. The blessing of light kept you and your fellow meddlers safe. It was that which prevented my kind from entering your domain. My kind, I say, though it had no power over the likes of Elidibus and La Habrea. Being of this world, they could come and go as they please, while I could only look on. But I need look no longer. Now that the seal is gone, I mean to act. Unlike the others, I am not given to waiting. I shall take that staff and bring about the next rejoining.
Rejoining? Then it was your doing. The Isle of Val, the scholars, all of it.
You will not harm her!
Moon... The staff is but a broken relic, a memorial to the departed. What possible use could you have for it?
What use?
After them! Quickly! Before the rift closes!
Yeah, okay, yeah, sorry. Muted. I've created a private listing, 2211. Okay. Changes within the party. Okay. So we are. That is ready. Okay, yeah. So I guess we can end this. Okay. So there's that. And party finder. Files. Chrysalis. Join and we are now queued. But yeah, Princess Peach, yeah. And again, sorry for that brief muted portion. There was, probably something related to that disconnect, or I was still in the OBS side of things, or something like that. Yeah. So we are now queued and just waiting for the party to form. Forget about go. I'll go as soon as we have the rest of the party. But I had hoped to get to this, the steps of faith, but at this rate, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. guess I was officially dead for part of the fight, just not till the sirens. Twice. Thank you, Aileen, for reminding me that I think. Oh no, I can't remember that, but I can always thank the other people. My thanks. Let's get out of here.
You're safe. Thank the 12.
You may have bested me this day, but what of the next? What of all the days to come? Remember, light no longer holds sway here. I may return whensoever I wish, again and again and again. Eventually, you will falter, and the staff will be mine. Until next time, scions.
There will be no next time. This is the end.
I hope that the audio is working.
What trickery is this? No. No! You cannot! No!
Use Tube Samati to gather ether. Quickly, before he breaks free! Concentrate! Call to mind the time you struck down La Habrea with the Blade of Light. Why won't it work? Is it because we lack the blessing of light?
Damn it. So much ether. And it still isn't enough.
Fools! No mortal prison can contain me! I shall make you pay for your insolence!
Please, Mother Heidelin, hearken to our plea. Lend us your divine light. Why can you not hear us? Do our words no longer reach you?
If only we had a bit more ether.
Okay, guys, no, Brita, don't you
Moonbreeder,
dare.
what are you doing?
Master Louisoix, I understand now the choice you made. In death, there is life. Farewell, Urianger, you daft old coot.
Moonbreeder, no! You mustn't!
What? No! It cannot end! I am eternal! I am immortal!
F's in chat for Moonbreeder.
Moonbreeder. She's gone.
F's in chat for Moonbreeder.
You did it, my friend. The Ascian is dead. This device is a legacy of Moonbreeder's toils and sacrifice. I shall hold on to it for safekeeping.
Minfilia, are you all right?
I am.
Oh, we were surveying northern Thanalan when we received the distress call. We returned as swiftly as we were able.
It seems you have everything in hand, however.
What happened here? Where is Moonbreeder?
Yeah, she's gone.
She gave her life to temper the Blade of Light. I have no words.
Rather than await the inevitable, she took her fate into her own hands. Does Urianger know?
My friend, there is something I must tell you.
I heard all, my lady. The moon sinketh, taking her leave of the heavens, yet her passing heraldeth the coming of a new day. Moonbreeder hath fulfilled her destiny, hath she not? Long ago, far across the seas in the Charlean motherland, Moonbreeder and I did study under the sage tutelage of Master Louisoix. Full oft did he impress upon us that knowledge existeth to serve the greater good. This sentiment, however, was contrary to the nation's policy of neutrality, which censured intercedence in the affairs of foreign lands. In spite of vehement opposition, he founded the Circle of Knowing, and journeyed hither to the heart of Eorzea. Through his noble sacrifice was the realm spared its doom. this great soul, whom all should rightly have honored, was branded a pariah in his own land. His peers did accuse him of forsaking his duty as a man of learning, and of meddling in the course of history. When he left Charlayan behind, Master Louisoix gave no word to signal his intent to Moonbreeder. Close as they were, as master and disciple, she was deeply wounded by the sudden exclusion from his confidence. Above all, however, she was confused. Try as she might, she could ill comprehend her master's motive. The slanders that were heaped upon him after his passing served only to inflame the turmoil within her. For years upon end, she knew not what to believe. Torn as she was twixt the man whom she revered and the man who forsook her and his duty both. This I know full well, my lady. 'Twas not for want of love that Master Louisoix hid his intent. He but desired that Moonbreeder discover her own path, free of the shadow of his influence. Long did I contemplate revealing the truth to her, and long did I hold my peace. After all, was it not Master Louisoix's wish that she come to the truth unaided? I told myself it was, and resolved to let her suffer. Knowingly did I deny my friend the comfort she craved. And now she hath gone to her rest, with doubt still in her heart. Speakest thou in earnest? Did Moonbreeder truly come to understand Master Louisoix's will before the end? The realization hath set her free. She may now find the peace which hath for so long eluded her. Oh, Moonbreeder, my dearest, how I shall miss thee.
Moonbreeder gave her life that we might possess the means to defeat the Ascians. Her sacrifice must not be in vain. Let us continue her work on the Blade of Ether and see it to completion.
My lady, I would mourn Moonbreeder in mine own way. I beg your permission to return to the Waking Sands.
Of course, my friend. Take all the time you require. We shall be here should you have need of us.
Well, that's a bummer. She was counting on the theory that a soul's ether burns brightest at the moment of its passing, a scholar until the very end. Oh, Moon, I miss you so much already. Would we had arrived a few moments sooner. Just a few moments. Our list of grievances against the Ascians was already overlong. Must they continue to add to it? Never have I seen Urianger so utterly defeated. No one should be made to suffer such grief. We shall gather in we shall gather in the Charlian Manor to celebrate Mumbrida's life and mourn her passing. In memory of Minbrida, Minfilia wishes to gather the scions and honor the fallen Minbrida. As Minbrida was a native of Charlian, I feel it is only fitting that we gather before the Mark of the Scholar. Are you familiar with the stone? 'Tis a monument found at Wraith Frost and is sacred to Thaliak, guardian deity of the City of Learning. There shall we pray for our dear friend's soul and bid her a peaceful return to the light of the Mother Crystal. Oh boy. This is... The fact that you could have a character so soon introduced and then kill them off and yet still feel it, that speaks to good writing. Well, here we are.
Forgive me, Moonbreeder. Had I been quicker or wiser, but I was not, and you paid the price. But you would not suffer us to wallow in our sorrow, would you? You would tell us to pick ourselves up and get on with it. And so we shall. We shall defend this realm and her people to the last.
Life for death, a fair exchange. Other bargains will be struck.
So we have said our farewells. The pall of sadness has diminished but little. Forgive me. As antecedent, 'tis my job to be the pillar of strength for all others to lean upon. Yet I also believe the grief we feel now is precious in its own way, and not to be lightly swept aside. Do you not agree, Myrokos? I do agree. 'Tis as if a dagger has been thrust into my breast. But 'tis pain we must learn to bear if we are to forge ahead with our duty. The battles we have fought have taken the lives of so many. Louisoix, Moonbreda, our fellows at the Waking Sands. Their spirit and dedication to our cause, however, will never be lost as long as we rise to fight once more. I hardly need remind you of this, of course. 'Tis for my own benefit that I repeat these words, a reaffirmation of mine own chosen path. If I do not rebuild the foundation of my resolve, I am like to collapse in a fit of weeping. My apologies again, Myrokos. There is no other to whom I would display such weakness. You are my pillar of strength, and I fear I shall have need of your steadfast presence in the days to come. A victory won, a comrade lost. To honor the fallen, the living forge ever on, towards the light of a new day. Mask of Grief. Minfilia has a request to make of you. Have you a moment, Myrokos? I believe Ida wished a word with you. I should consider it a personal favor if you would lend a sympathetic ear to her troubles. She has not been herself since Moonbreda's passing, and my heart aches to see her so downcast. The rising stones feels somehow colder. Moonbreda always carried with her such an abundance of warmth and cheer. We must find some means of protecting ourselves from Essene intrusions. There must be a way. I loathe to see Ida in such pain, but I have not the words to comfort her. Can you imagine it? I, Papalimo, the one who has an eloquent comment for every situation, am at a loss for words. Hey, it's Myrokos. Great! Oh, it's no use. I'm trying to stay positive, but it's just hard, you know? Yeah. The thing is, I know Moon would tell me off if she saw me moping about like this. Which is why I decided to cheer myself up by getting her a special flower. I placed an order for a moon daisy with Rowena a little while ago, and it's ready to be picked up. The trouble is, I find Rowena a bit difficult at the best of times, and well, this isn't one of them. I know it's silly, but I just can't face it at the moment, so I was wondering, do you think you could maybe collect it for me? I have the coin to pay for the flower right here. Thank you so much. I'll be waiting for you and the daisy at Wraithfrost. What can I do for you today, adventurer? Eldritch trinket to trade? No, I have a payment for a flower. Eh? They've got you running errands now. Them scions really know how to make the most of your talents, don't they? Sending the savior of Eorzea to the bleeding market. Fine use of your time, that is. Seriously, though, you'd best learn how to say no, or they'll have you mucking out the chocobo stables next. Anyway, what was it you were here to pick up? The moon daisy, was it? Here then, take it, and tell that Ida lass I've got a wide selection of headwear in stock if she ever decides to replace that dowdy old mask of hers. Gods knows she needs to. Rowena can be so annoying. She just will not take no for an answer. Every time I visit her, she insists I replace my visor with something more fashionable. And when I tell her I like it just fine the way it is, she says it again, and then again, and then again. It drives me crazy. What I mean to say is I really appreciate you doing this for me. So, anyway, let's see it. Moon daisies are often hung to rafters, trees, or other elevated locations to represent the celestial body when performing holy rituals to the goddess Minfilia during daylight hours. Moonbreeder loved these things, you know. I hope that somewhere, somehow, she knows I'm still thinking of her.
I'll never forget you, Moon. None of us will.
The song riseth to a crescendo.
that what I think it is?
Yeah, those are dragons making north for Ishgard.
Hello, can you hear me?
Unfortunately, yeah.
We have received grave tidings from Ishgard. Pray return to the Rising Stones at once.
Pray return. Oh, good heavens. I'm kind of getting sick of that phrase, pray return. We shall press onwards, as we have always done. I will not squander the sacrifices of our fallen friends by surrendering to paralysis born of fear. My apologies for the interruption. I was deeply saddened to learn of Moonbreeda's passing. Her loss will be sorely felt. Why does that ring hollow? Alas, recent developments in Ishgard leave us little time to mourn. The envoy from Kurthus will arrive soon, and we must hasten to hear her report. Defenders for Ishgard. Alphino awaits the arrival of the Ishgardian envoy. The envoy is here. I thank you for receiving me at such short notice. Time is of the essence, so I would forgo the usual pleasantries, if I may. Certainly, you come with news of the Dravanians? Aye, the dragons have begun their attack in earnest. The first wave reached the Central Highlands a short while ago, and the battle was joined soon thereafter. Sir Emeric himself sallied forth with a contingent of Temple Knights and several companies of the noble house's finest. Though the beasts were ultimately forced into retreat, our victory, if such it may be called, came at the cost of many of our own. Too many. We will not withstand a second wave should the Durranians renew their assault. You paint a grim picture, my lady. It is reinforcements you seek, then? We do. Though it pricks our pride, it is plain we cannot protect Ishgard with our ranks thus thinned by the Horde. Sir Emeric would meet with you to discuss the possibility of enlisting your aid. Very well. I shall depart for Kurthus at once. I must warn you, however, that the involvement of the Crystal Braves is by no means assured. Our commitment to quelling the unrest in Ul'dah must take precedence. It is with such contingencies in mind that I must make another request. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn are known for sharing close ties with all three of the grand companies of Eorzea. Would you consent to plead our case to their leaders? Though I would gladly appeal to the grand companies on your behalf, I dare not promise a favorable reply. You need say no more. Considering our past dealings with the Eorzean Alliance, I can well imagine how our play will be received. But the fate of Ishgard hangs in the balance. We must explore every avenue still open to us, no matter how unpromising. I see. Very well. I shall send envoys to each of the allied nations and have them present your request directly to the heads of the Grand Companies. In the event that your play does receive a favorable answer, know that any support is certain to be conditional. Demands will be made of Ishgard. That is only to be expected. Rest assured that I speak with Sir Amaric's authority in this matter, and that our actions are fully sanctioned by the Holy See. Which brings me to my final request, a personal appeal to you, Warrior of Light. The Lord Commander much desires to speak with you, regardless of your fellow's involvement. You faced Midgard-Zorna and survived. Anything you can share of your experience may yield us an advantage over our foe. Thank you. You wear the mantle of hero well. Oh, Lucia actually calls us a hero. It would seem the road leads us both to Camp Dragonhead. Seek me out when you arrive, Myrokos. Are these the steps of faith that I keep hearing about? Uh-oh. What's happening? Zale. Iceheart. Governor. Caller?
The sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. Only then will the cycle be broken. Brothers and sisters of the heavens, we raise our voices and join you in the chorus. The sinner's feeble magics are undone. Come, claim your retribution.
We have had reports from a number of frontier settlers. It would seem that the dragons have come as far as Mordana. I'm trying. Okay, you need to step away and do a bio break. If you need to get up and stretch your legs, do so. It's not healthy to sit for too long. Be back soon. Okay, and I'm back. So now off to Camp Dragonhead. It seems that I was swifter, Myrokos. You too, however, have arrived with time to spare, for our host has yet to make an appearance. The murmurings about camp tell of some manner of trouble at the gates of judgment. In the Lord Commander's absence, I suggest we visit the place and find out what is afoot. The gates of judgment are much more than mere doors. They are the outermost layer of Ishgard's magical wards. If our first line of defense can be so easily shattered... Oh dear. Tenterhooked Temple Knight. That's a word you don't hear very much. For those who don't know, tenterhooked, by definition, is in physical form a reference to a metal hook that has a sort of a curved hook to it that is meant to be used as tent pole to hold a canvas cover, to hold a tenter, which is that canvas cover to create a shaded area when out in the open. It also means to be on edge, strained, or suspenseful, and this we have a cowering temple knight here. When I laid eyes upon Iceheart, I felt the marrow freeze within my bones. That's charming. Dyspeptic Dragoon. Now, what does dyspeptic mean? Heretic scum. How dare they meddle with our divine protections? I shall rid our nation of their blasphemy, even if it means cutting them down one by one. Trembling Temple Knight. We need not fret overmuch. There are yet several layers of arcane protection that shield the city from invasion. Mother will be fine. Let's hope. Okay. Okay, so now we to Alphino. 'Twould seem the heretics struck the first and most telling blow against Ishgard. Scions, we expected you at Camp Dragonhead. My apologies. We chanced to hear that there had been trouble at the gates and thought it prudent to investigate the cause. Then you have learned of the heretic's treachery. Lady Iceheart led a force of her followers against our defenders and came close enough to dispel the first of our wars. But let us speak more of this back at the camp. Sir Emmerich awaits you. Okay. The worms roar. Alphino seems eager to return to Camp Dragonhead. Lady Iceheart has grown bold indeed if she would risk direct action against the city. Come, let us do as we are bid and return to Camp Dragonhead. Lord Hoshafon will know where Sir Amarok means to receive us. Okay, time is of the essence. 'Tis reassuring indeed to behold the countenance of a friend when one's homeland teeters upon the very brink of disaster. Though a single misstep could send us plunging into the abyss, your heroic presence stokes the flames of courage within my heart. But you did not come to Dragonhead to listen to my prattling. The Lord Commander has arrived and would treat with you in the intercessory. Okay, off to the intercessory. That far. Ishgard's future hangs in the balance of the city's salvation rests on our assistance. I cannot well withhold it. Even so, I mean to make Sir Amarok sweat for his reinforcements. On this occasion, feigned disinterest may serve the cause of Eorzean unity better than naked philanthropy. Come, let us find out what concessions the Holy See is willing to make. I thank you for coming with such haste, and apologize for my absence. Suffice it to say, Lady Ishgard and her heretics have much to answer for. Yes, we are but recently returned from the gates of judgment ourselves. Given the circumstances, we quite understand if you would prefer to postpone our appointed audience. On the contrary, Master Alphano, I think it more important than ever that this meeting take place. Rest assured, I shall return to my post on Ishgard's walls the moment our business is concluded. Before we move on to the subject of reinforcements, however, I would introduce you to a close friend and stalwart ally, Estinian. May I present to you Ishgard's Azure Dragoon. An impressive title, though I confess I know precious little of the Order of Dragoons. They are formidable warriors all, yet even among such masters of the lance, Estinian is without equal. He, out of all the warriors of Ishgard, was chosen to wield the power of dragons, and may thus contend with any Dravani. You flatter me overmuch, Lord Commander. So you are the adventurer of whom they spoke. I see now why my blood fair sang in anticipation of our meeting. Well, now that we have all been introduced, let us proceed to the matter at hand. I would share with you what we have learned of Ishgard's design as confessed by the heretics taken captive after the assault on the gates. 'Twould seem that Lady Ishgard and the Dravanians share a common goal, the reclamation of Nidhogg's stolen eye. Nidhogg, one of the 7 great worms. His name features prominently in your nation's history. Though once defeated by the hero Haldrath, The beast is said to have terrorized Kurthus since Ishgard's founding. Aye, many are the scars our walls bear from Nidhogg's relentless efforts to raise the city. The trophy Haldreth plucked from the bested worm's skull, known simply as the Eye, is a treasured relic of Ishgard, and one possessed of untold power. Should it ever be returned to Nidhogg, the dread creature would be restored to the height of his strength, and then no wall or ward we could erect would be stout enough to deny it. My vengeful son hath waged war against Ishgard for 1,000 years. No mortal mind could comprehend the depths of his rancor. The Eye itself is secreted deep within the vault. It is kept under heavy guard, surrounded at all times by men and women who have proven their loyalty to the Holy See. But though stout walls and sharp blades may suffice to discourage the heretics, the dragons are another matter. There are individuals within the Dravanian horde whom an entire company of knights would labor to repel, to say nothing of Nidhogg himself. Nor does age rob them of their strength. Through the endless march of years, the dragons endure. Patient, calculating, inexorable. You must understand, these creatures do not share our perception of time. And that is especially true of the great worms. They who spend their centuries in slumber only to wake and resume their campaign as if mere hours had passed. It had been 20 years since Nidhogg last darkened our skies. 20 years for him to gather his strength and for us to bolster our defenses. And now, just as he seems primed to return, the heretics strike at the gates. You believe that Lady Iceheart is in league with the creature, then? Of that, we cannot be certain. Though we know the heretics covet the Eye, we have been unable to determine their plans for it. Such questions aside, we must needs address the ragged hole their mistress has seen fit to rend in Ishgard's protections. 'Tis a weakness the Dravanians are not like to leave untested. So it would seem. You have described your plight in admirable detail, Lord Commander. Yet I cannot help but wonder at your candor. Why share such sensitive information with us? I shall speak plain. Ishgard has need of allies, and I would have you bolster our front lines in readiness for the coming battle against the dragons. This much I expected. Unlike our arrangement concerning the Keeper of the Lake, however, only you stand to benefit from our assistance in this matter. I fail to see why we should intervene in a conflict which concerns only Ishgard and Dravania. When the Eorzean Alliance requested Ishgard's assistance during Operation Archon, you refused us. Does it not seem grossly unjust to demand that we now risk our lives in your private war? Good question. I make no attempt to defend my country's conduct. I ask only that you consider what would follow were Ishgard to fall. Having razed our city to the ground, the Horde would have little cause to linger, and most would return to their lairs in Dravania. Soon thereafter, the ruins of Kurthus would be buried in snow, and the land would become the sole province of beasts and beastmen. Until the Garlean's arrival, that is, for you may be certain that the Empire would not hesitate to claim Kurthus. They would not even have to draw steel. An imperial province sharing a border with Mordana. 7 hells. Ahem. Very well. We will assist you in repelling the dragons. The roar of a great worm may have shaken the firmament, but we of Eorzea will not abandon our Ishgardian brothers to face the coming horde alone. Nor did I ever think you would. Now upon the matter of the roar. Allow me, Sir Americ. Through the power of the Eye, I have become the vessel of Nidhogg's strength. His essence has stolen into my very blood. Fear not, I am in full control of my faculties, I assure you, and the Eye itself is of no relevance to this tale. It is not essential that I bear it with me wheresoever I go. Its lingering influence does, however, allow me to hear Nidhogg's voice. Then the worm who roared was Nidhogg. Aye. He means to hurl his horde against Danafin's collar and shatter the remaining wards that protect the city. There can be no doubt the worm has summoned his minions to war. Well, this is charming. Though the circumstances are far from ideal, this desperate endeavor will at least provide us an opportunity to bring the sister states of Eorzea together in common cause. Sir Americ was more ruthless in his negotiation than I had anticipated. I suppose one must give no quarter when one's home is at stake. But did you see the look on his face when he formally requested our assistance? Though the Lord Commander has long campaigned for Ishgard to open its gates to outsiders, I suspect the softening of the Holy See's attitude toward foreign cooperation comes as something of a bittersweet victory. The days ahead promise to be interesting indeed. Alphino is ready to begin making preparations for war. Committed to the cause, yeah. If we are to aid the Ishgardians in this war of theirs, preparations will have to be made, and soon. Before proceeding, however, we must needs return to the Rising Stones and make our report to the antecedent. Yeah, and I don't think she's going to like that you basically said we're going to fight your war for you. I am painfully aware of the hypocrisy of our request and the self-inflicted nature of our predicament. But should it serve to deliver my people from their unkind fate, gladly shall I bow my head and beg for aid. I expect, nay, welcome the coming storm of scorn and disdain. Nidhogg, he is the source of our suffering. If we do not fell the worm, these endless clashes count for naught. Okay. Back to the Rising Stones. People have moved. If you're looking for the signs, they've already left for the Alliance nations. I do hope Ishgard will be saved. Considering recent history, will there be any among us to the Alliance willing to aid the Holy See? Ishgard has few friends at the bargaining table. Though I have never seen one myself, it is said that dragons layer just beyond the border of my home. Should events take a turn for the worst, we are fortunate that this settlement is such a popular crossroads for so many veteran adventurers. The town has been calm through all this talk of war, but if those dragons come to Revenant's Toll, there will be panic aplenty, I'd wager. Yeah. We have Alphino to thank for signing us up to fight.
Alphino, it is good to see you. Tell me, what have you learned?
Pray summon the others. Everyone must hear my report.
So this was all but a taste of what's to come.
Indeed. The main host advances upon Ishgard as we speak.
Whose vaunted defenses have been nullified.
Shorn of its wards, the city will bear the full force of Nidhogg's fury.
All those people.
Alphino is right. The Dravanians cannot be allowed to prevail. If Ishgard falls, all of Eorzea will suffer the consequences.
Then you agree that we have no choice but to intervene. For the good of the realm, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn and the Crystal Braves must join the defense of Ishgard.
Let there be no ambiguity about what has been proposed. We would be directly intervening in the war. But if all here believe the cause to be just, then to war we shall go. The path we now embark upon is perilous, but I pray you will walk with us to the end. For those we have lost, for those we can yet save.
Then it is settled. I shall inform the Council of our intentions and request that they contribute their own forces to the defense of Ishgard.
What are those two? Volunteer Dragon Slayers. Minfilia would have you assist with the preparations being made for the defense of Ishgard. I have bid the Archons travel to their assigned nations. Should the members of the Alliance agree to pledge Grand Company soldiers to Ishgard's cause, our comrades will be on hand to act as intermediaries for the duration of the conflict. The small matter of persuading the Alliance leaders to grant such support I leave to Alphino. For you, my friend, a different task awaits. I would have you reach out to your fellow adventurers and gather what allies you may for the coming siege. I would have you consider the matter of our own security. Revenant's Toll is but a short flight from the snowfields of Kurthus. It is not unimaginable that the fighting may spill across the border. Pray, brief Slav-born on the brewing conflict and discuss potential contingencies. The frontier settlers must be prepared for aught that might wing its way over our walls. I only hope that such precautions prove unnecessary. Before you leave, might I suggest that you have Tataru accompany you? She has a talent for administration and a firm grasp of the practical challenges we may encounter. We are rather close to Kurthus, aren't we? We'd best see to our own defenses and take stock of our supplies. Oh, and we'll also need to have beds and bandages laid out just in case. A good receptionist is ready for any eventuality. Let's go, Myrokos. I've 101 things to discuss with Slav. I appreciate the warning. If war is coming to Kurthus, then the toll must be made ready. I'll increase the number of patrols and lookouts immediately. I'll also see about finding room for an infirmary, as well as temporary housing for victims of the conflict. Ishgard has done well by us in the past, and I would return the favor. But as for rounding up volunteers for the fighting itself, I'm afraid I must disappoint you. I will not send my fellow guild members to die on Ishgardian soil, and I am certain headquarters will say the same. There will be no official Adventurers Guild presence at this scene. That said, each adventurer is of course free to do as he or she will. I shall have word with some of my more capable colleagues on your behalf, and you might try your luck here in Revenant's Toll. I dare say there are a few stout souls about town who will answer your call to arms. Let's get started, shall we? We have a town to rouse. Accomplished adventure. Spare me your talk of glory and fame. I'm not in the habit of volunteering for lost causes. I've survived this long by trusting my instincts, and my instincts tell me to stay well away from Ishgard. Ishgard sounds like she's in a right mess, but that ain't what I wanted to talk to you about. I need you to cast your mind back to the scuffle with the Empire out by the processing plant. A lad from Little Alamigo by the name of Will Red was there with the 4th that day, and I want to know if you've seen him since. Have you? No? No, I haven't. God damn it, I feared as much. No one's bloody seen him. It's like the ground opened up and swallowed him whole. But that ain't all. Around the time Wilred stopped turning up for duty, then black market weapons went missing from our vault in Ul'dah. So now, of course, half the bros suspect the lad of making off with the goods. Folk like to believe our company is a disciplined fighting force, but as you and me both know, it's no more than a motley collection of mercenaries, adventurers, and Grand Company veterans. The only thing that binds us together is some vague oath about fighting for the freedom of all. That and the steady pay. Now, compared to most others in this crew, Wilred's a fresh-faced novice, a bleeding whelp amongst wolves. But the boy's got passion. When he talked about being a guardian of Eorzea, he bloody well meant it. A lad like him wouldn't rob us blind and bugger off like that. He ain't the type. And then, and this is just between you and me, mind, there's the fact that the lad wanted to tell me about something queer he noticed in the ledgers. Something about the Braves' numbers not adding up. Aye, there's a villain at the end of this trail I've stumbled on, and I'll bet me good eye it ain't young Wilred. Any road, you've got a war to wage, so I'll let you get on. I just thought someone should know. I'll be seeing you, Myrokos. Adept adventurer. So Ishgard seeks cell swords to bolster its ranks. Though I'm not sure I like the sound of the siege, those nobles will surely be generous with their rewards. But I have pledged myself to guard Revenant's toll. Modest work, though it is, I am loath to break the terms of my contract. What to do, what to do. So, would have gone, but has to stay here. Can't blame him. Sell me blade to the Ishgardians. Well, them dragons are a fearsome lot, but I'd slay my fair share if the coin was good. I've worked for one of them knights before, you know. Watched me like a bloody hawk he did. Still, I put up with worse than that for a heavy purse. Okay, so we got one. Volunteer my services in the Defense of Ishgard? I think not. Dragons claimed the lives of every one of my brothers. I do not mean to offer them mine. 'Twas to escape such a fate that I took up the mantle of adventurer in the first place. I would sooner die in the pursuit of fortune than huddled behind an icy wall. Okay, so we got one. Okay. There you are, Myrokos. Did you sway any hearts? One's committed to the defense of Revenant's Toll, and only one other would come with me. Well, added to 9, that makes 3 or 4, not including Slafman's friends. We won't have the largest company in the army, but I'd say one of Revenant's Toll veteran is worth a dozen clanking knights at least. An allied perspective. Tatar has a message for you from him. Oh, I've been caught up with recruiting. I've been so caught up with recruiting I almost forgot. There's been word from Alphenor. Apparently the Alliance leaders are convening in Ul'dah to discuss Ishgard's plight, and they've requested your presence as usual. Anyway, you'd best make your way to Ul'dah, or you'll be late. Alphenor said that he would meet you at the Royal Palace. Should have just taken. Go back and do it again. Chamber of Roll. My apologies for calling you away from your tasks. I had hoped to proceed with the negotiations one leader at a time, but it seems my urgent requests for an audience have prompted a gathering of the council. Needless to say, I felt obliged to attend. The alliance leaders are already seated within. Let us join them, shall we? Yep. Tempest Fugid.
We are well aware of Ishgard's dilemma, and we agree with your assessment.
Then I trust there are no objections to the Crystal Braves' intervention.
Uldar has none.
Gridania does not object.
The Crystal Braves are yours to command, Alphino. Do what you will. We shall pray for your success.
It was my hope that you would offer more substantial aid than prayer. I know it is within your means.
Do not presume that you have knowledge of our every concern. The Garleans and the Beast Tribes are but two of many. We are not in a position to contribute greatly to the defense of Ishgard, not when our own homes are still under siege.
We dare not leave our interests in Cartano undefended as well. Telegi Adalegi and his ilk would seize control of the territories in our absence.
The enemy is at their gates, and you would cower behind yours?
No one is cowering, boy. We will offer what support we can.
Aye, support. A handful of men and no more.
Would that we could commit more than a token force to this cause. Yet there are others to whom you might turn. The free companies ever want for work.
Ah, yes. The free companies. They're not like to turn you down.
I beg your pardon? You would entrust the survival of Ishgard to sell swords? Crises like these are the very reason why this alliance was formed. It is our duty to aid our fellow man.
My duty is to my country and my people. If you expect us to place the welfare of a foreign power above our own, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Lest you doubt, Limsa comes first, then the Alliance, and finally, circumstances permitting, Ishgard and the rest. If you cannot understand so simple a concept, then you have no place at this table.
Ooh, Alphino just got owned.
Forgive me, Admiral. I was careless in my choice of words.
I suggest you assemble a party of elite adventurers, assuming you haven't already. Your fellows served us well during Operation Archon. I dare say they will do so again. If I may, Your Grace, I wish to propose a redistribution of forces. If we entrust the security of Uldar to the Brass Blades for a time, we can dispatch a larger force to Ishgard. Your Grace?
Yes. Yes, of course. Do what you will.
Is Her Grace not feeling well?
To the best of my knowledge, Her Grace is in perfect health.
I see. Carry on.
Once again, I owe you an apology. It seems you have been conscripted into leading a contingent of adventurers on yet another mission of inestimable danger. But I fear we have been left with little alternative. We cannot well abandon Lord Hoshafat and Sir Amaric to their fate. We must abide by the Council's decision, as short-sighted as it is, and strive to fulfill our roles as Eorzea's guardians. Captain Ilberd, what news? Then the assault has begun? We have but this moment concluded our audience with the Alliance leaders. Move our forces into position. Your unit will join House Durandare at the Steel Vigil. Man the cannons alongside the knights and thin the Dravanian horde ere they descend upon Ishgard. I will join you as soon as I am able. Myrokos, I would have you and your adventurer allies bolster the defenses at the Steps of Faith. Report first to Sir Marceline at the Gates of Judgment, and he will direct you to where you are needed most. May the gods grant us victory. Seek out Sir Marceline, the Keeper of the Gates of Judgment. The Steps of Faith lie just beyond, and he will know where the fighting is worst. Okay. One last right ticket. I guess we'll use it for a good cause. You are the appointed captain of the Sellsword contingent? Then welcome. There is no shortage of blade work to be done. As we speak, Dravanian skirmishing parties are harrying positions across the Central Highlands. I have assigned the Crystal Braves and your fellow adventurers to contain these scattered attacks, and for the present, I would have you join them. This is, of course, merely a precursor to the assault on Ishgard proper. The wily serpents seek to divide and confuse our forces, but we will not be so easily drawn out of position. The Temple Knights will remain on the Steps of Faith and continue our preparations. When the Horde arrives in force, they shall face a wall of Ishgardian steel. Report back to me once their advance skirmishers are slain. here goes. What news, adventurer? The reinforcements decimated, you say? Dravanian devils, damn their scaly hides. Hold fast to your grief and fury, sir. We will avenge the deaths of your fellows in the battle to come. Here we are, the Steps of Faith. Sir Marceline wishes to prepare you for the siege of Ishgard. Ere you commit yourself to the siege, you should know what it is you are tasked with defending. Beyond the gates of judgment lie the Steps of Faith, a great bridge of stone that leads directly to the city of Ishgard. More than simply a means to cross the Sea of Clouds, the bridge serves as a foundation for the arcane wards that form the barrier we call Danafin's Collar. Alas, in dispelling the barrier's outermost layer, that thrice-damned witch, Iceheart, stripped the bridge of its protection, and thus are the dragons now able to land unhindered upon the Steps of Faith. Should the Dravanians succeed in destroying the remainder of the wards, the Winged Devils will be free to swarm within the city itself. Needless to say, we cannot suffer that to happen. It shall be our task as defenders to prevent any harm from coming to those parts of the bridge, wherein the wards are sealed. All now rests on you, adventurer. Lead your comrades out onto the Steps of Faith and prepare to meet the Horde. May the Fury guide your blades. Okay, Aeolian, are you still there? AFK. Aeolian, are you still watching? By any chance? Okay, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm talking to someone who's watching live on Twitch, or was earlier. I don't know if they're... It looks like they're AFK for now, so I guess I'll just have to queue alone. Given how late it is, I think I'll get through this, get through whatever cutscenes there are, and then probably call it into the stream. Alright, and here I go, assuming that everybody accepts. Yes, they did. the steps of faith. The dragons, they are withdrawing. Victory is ours. One of Nidhogg's greatest champions, slain. The Horde will not soon recover from this blow. But what of you, Nidhogg? Why do you not join your minions and make this battle a slaughter? Have you grown so fond of the stench of your lair? Mayhap you prefer to have your allies fight your battles for you. You have a girl to do your bidding now, do you not? No matter. I shall slay Iceheart and all the rest. But I yearn to spill the blood of a great worm, Nidhogg, and only your death will sate my lance. Myrokos, the dragons are routed. Lest you wonder, the fighting at the Steel Vigil was also fierce, but my Crystal Braves were not found wanting. Commander Olivier, Myrokos, true to your word, you arrived to aid us in our hour of need. On behalf of the Holy See and the people of Ishgard, I offer you my humble thanks. Though I would stay and lavish you with well-deserved praise, I fear I must away to oversee the aftermath of the siege. Not all the dragons are fled, and there are yet wounded to be carried from the field. Pray let us meet anon, that I might express my thanks with proper courtesy. I too would offer my thanks, Myrokos. Though through your deeds we have achieved a victory of singular importance. With the Dravanian horde thus weakened and scattered, the threat to Ishgard has been greatly diminished. And mayhap equally significant, the Holy See must now recognize the necessity of cooperation with foreign powers. Long have they barred their gates against the outside world, but I am confident that the day will soon come when Ishgard proclaims itself a member of the Eorzean Alliance once more. Much have we sacrificed in our struggles against dragons and primals, the Ascians and the Empire, but step by unfaltering step, we march ever nearer to our goal. And, as ever, the journey is made with you in the van. The victory you have won this day gives us greater hope for the morrow. 'Tis a hope that shall sustain us in the days to come and bear us past the many evils that yet seek to hinder our progress. Yes, we have done well, my friend, and I, for one, would take a moment to savor the enormity of our achievement. The demands of duty, however, allow me little time for levity. I must accompany Captain Ilberd back to Ul'dah and reassign those braves whose squads suffered heavy losses. You, my friend, have earned a rest at the Rising Stones. Pray return to Revenant's Hall. Here we go. Pray return again. And share your tale with Minfilia in person. I'll be lazy and just port. Well, I've been going on for nearly 5 hours. The amount of time that flies by in this game. Can I tell you? I am faced by a merciless mountain of administrative chores. Thankfully, this is one battle I am well equipped to fight. Is back. So, Minfilia has committed the science to Ishgard's cause, has she? Though she makes her pronouncements with unshakable confidence, I can only imagine how agonizing it was for her to arrive at this decision. So many lives at stake. The threat of war sows panic and confusion, and routine tasks can offer a calming stability. Being sure the larder is properly stocked, for instance. And everybody else is busy. Minfilia, the battle is won. Myrokos, welcome back. Alphonse sent word of the siege, and of course of the role you played in ending it. Your deeds never cease to amaze me, Myrokos. Thank you. Skill speed, spell speed, probably do spell speed. Administrative decision. Minfilia seems loath to put you in other trials. Exertion. Yeah, well, I think I'll take a break for now and come back to this after this, because I've been going on for nearly 5 hours. This is certainly a good point to pause and take a break. When we pick up with this Let's Play stream, we will continue the MSQ. So if you liked what you saw at any point, please like, share, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you are watching this on Twitch, give a follow and click the notification bell so you're apprised of when I go live. If you are not watching this live, hop over on Twitch where it's live and hopefully more interesting. Until then, see you anon, friends.